to Stock Talk. This is your host, Scott. Hope you had a good couple of days in the market. Been a little crazy week to start out with. We had NVAX going up pretty good yesterday and then really went crazy during the middle of the day. We're going to talk about that as we look at our portfolio. Been kind of selling out of some of these shares of NVAX, been buying and selling, but also at the same time I'm reducing my share count. So kind of catch you up on where we're at on that, as well as the rest of the portfolio. So let's jump in there and take a look at the portfolio. So here we are today's, and you can see here it was a red day across the board here. Yesterday was green, but it was quite the exciting day for sure. But you can see the only green ones we got is this one here, CLSD, just barely green, and NVAX was up 7.5%. All right, so let's take a look. Bitcoin actually started out really good today. You can see here we got all the way up to, I think it was 59,000, and then it dropped like a rock and kind of tried to make a way back, and then it's dropped since then too. So that one's volatile, there's no doubt about it. And the reason we follow this one again is to keep an eye on it for our the rest of our stocks that we hold. Some of them, like HUT, are tied to that Bitcoin. So we'll talk about HUT in a minute. mRNA, that's one I watched. That's Moderna. And we watched that one just to kind of see what it's doing compared to NVAX. Now today it's red, even though yesterday it had a great day. And so NVAX had a pretty good day going, but then it had a sell-off, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. But today, NVAX got a little bit of that back while Moderna took a breather. All right, so EXAS, that's one that we were holding. We did sell that one today. I actually just I had already sold half of it out of one of the IRAs. So what I did today is I've been trying to get cash on the sideline, and so I just sold this one at a even money. Got tired of that cash sitting out there, so it wasn't a lot, but we wanted to go ahead and get back to our cash level, get our cash levels up because of the way this market's starting to act. So we'll talk about that as well. So CLSD, we're still holding that one. It's down pretty good, so we're not going to be selling it anytime soon. Yeah, you can see here it's been down the last week. Monday it was up a little bit, and then it sold off, and today it fought back a little bit. But it's just one we're holding. We're actually had bought this one for the pop, and it has not popped. Or it did pop, but it didn't pop far enough. So we're going to be holding that one for a while, looks like. HUT is tied to Bitcoin. Down today because Bitcoin was down, I'm sure. Let's take a look at the 5-day chart. You can see it's kind of just hanging steady, and today it sold off a little bit, but that probably be right back up tomorrow if Bitcoin goes up. So we're not worried about that one. I like that one because I like to have a stock of some sort that's tied to Bitcoin in my IRAs. That's the main reason I have that one right now. I've also traded MSTR, which is MicroStrategies, which is it's $700 and something a share, I think, and so it's a lot of cash to tie up. So this one's a little bit easier on your cash, and it can move just as much as MSTR. This is a Bitcoin miner. NVTA is one we bought a while back. We're not doing too good on it right now, so it's just kind of, you can see the 5-day chart is down, so we're not going to be doing anything with that one anytime soon unless it just has a big comeback. All right, let's talk about NVAX. NVAX, you can see was up 7%. It's up a little bit even in the after hours. It did get all the way up to 211.93 today, so it's trying to have a little comeback more in the after hours. You can see here the volume was a little heavy compared to normal, so we like to see that. And let's take a look at that 5-day chart. All right, you can see here Monday, it kind of took off from where it left off Friday. We got all the way up yesterday. I think it was 219 or 220. Actually, I think it got at 229 yesterday. And you can check that anytime you want to look at it. You can go to like historical data here, and you can go look. And yesterday was the 29th. Yeah, 229 was the high. Here's the high. That's what it opened at. The low, you can see, look at this. The high was 229. The low was 188. So let's go look at that chart again. This was quite a scare yesterday, and these things, like I said, especially when you're heavy in it like I am, uh, it's it can be frightening. So you can see here what we had yesterday. We were sitting up here real nice, as high as 229, and I was trading actually like 215 to 217. I did it about three times, and the last time I got it, then it did this to me. All right, you see this drop, and it just fell down like this. All right, so it actually went down to 188 right here in this initial drop, and it halted. And that's never a good thing when a stock halts, and you're kind of thinking, okay, well, where's it going to open up back at? And you can see what it did. It did fight its way back for a little bit, and then I actually bought more when I saw it coming back up, and so and then of course it did this to me. All right. So when it did that, that gave me some concern about what was it going to do today. And so since I was so heavy in it, I didn't really want to take a chance on um, holding, a bunch of shares. I'm still holding a bunch of shares, but I mean as many as I was holding because I was up on all those shares. And so I wanted to go ahead and take those profits. And what I did is I traded a good bit in the aftermarket yesterday because the aftermarket was pulled up. It was up $6 and something, I think, in the aftermarket. So we were selling that whole time. And this morning I had a sell order in pre-market to try to sell some more, but it never got to there. Actually, it did. It sold one share in one IRA and two shares in another IRA, which is, that's just somebody. That's those games they play. They didn't really want it to go that high. You could tell, and once it went that high, they didn't want to take all those shares that was probably at that position. Not just mine, because mine didn't amount to a hill of beans. Uh, but there's probably a lot of people that had that same price that I had, and it just nibbled at it. So what I did during the day is just watched it, and I think it got up to at one time it was up to 205 something, and so I put an order in for the rest of those shares I was trying to sell in pre-market. I put an order in for 206, and it did fill, and it kept going. So it was a good day from there. Go back to the chart. Uh, you can see here. Let's see where I sold at. It got up to right in this area here, 206 area, and I sold, and then well, this might have been where it hit the high the first time. I think that's what it was. And then when it pulled off of that high, I said, well, if it gets back up there, I'm going to sell it. So once it came back up this round, I sold. I sold some more shares. So, but we've got still plenty of shares. But I wanted to get some of that cash on the sideline. I wanted to go ahead and try to make up for some of those shares I was selling the last 2 months of Novavax, because when I was trading, and my oldest shares would go out, and as far as the sale goes, so those were expensive shares, so I was taking quite the loss on my daily trades that I was doing. So I had to make up for that. So as we started trading this week, and I think the tail end of last week, we were actually making some profits on the trades we were making that the shares were going out. So, and these were good profits. These were really good profits because by that time, those low price shares that I had, I was selling them for a very nice high price. And so it was making up for those that I sold the weeks before. And so where we're at now, uh, the ones I sold so far this week, we've had a 25% gain on those. Those stocks were way up. And so we had a 25% gain on those. But after even selling all that, we still are about 4% down on NVAX for the last 2 months, okay? Because that's when we were doing this trading with these high price shares. So we're down about 4%, and but the ones we're holding now, which is still a good number of shares, it's actually up about 1%. So got another 3% to go or so, and we can probably make up for and get back on the green side overall. And so that's what you got to keep in mind, when you're doing this and what shares are going out. You got to keep remembering what did you pay for those, how far behind are you on stuff like that. So right now we're just trying to get even. We are in at 206. 206.59 is where we're in. So if you go back and see where NVAX is now, it's all the way up to 210. So we're doing pretty good on the ones we're holding. 206.59, and they're all in the green right now, so that's good. So if we sell anything, it'll be green shares. Well, I take that back. The ones I bought yesterday and still have would be around 215. So the ones that are sitting down that go out next would be some nice low shares. So, all right. So, but we in overall at 206.59 is our cost average on what we're holding. Okay. So that's good. Cash levels, we are now, cash levels, we're back to 41% cash, which I like that a lot. Now, if we can get rid of some of this NVAX, we can really bump that up even more because we, again, have a pretty good stake in NVAX. So we'll see. Now, that's what I'm trying to do for the end of the year. I'm trying to get into cash. And on days like today, when the market goes down like it has, I'll be nibbling at three things: DIA, SPY, and QQQ. Those are ETFs that reflect the different markets. So DIA reflects the Dow, SPY reflects S&P, and then QQQ is pretty much NASDAQ because it's all the tech stocks. So that's what we're gonna kind of be our strategy next year too on the IRAs. Now we're going to continue to do more trading and stuff with our cash accounts and our options accounts. But as far as everything else, we're going to be kind of doing the QQQs and things like that. That's my game plan. We'll see if I stick to it. Sometimes I don't. So anyway, we're gonna go get back to the charts here. But you can see that was quite the scary day. And what I did, let me talk about that just a minute, because this is what you do when you see a stock drop like that, and especially one that's getting halted. You got to figure out what's causing that. Why did it drop all of a sudden? Because it was having a great day, and next thing you know, it's down. And so what I do is I go to the message boards in Yahoo. Let's go ahead and let me show you how to do that. So you go here, and you can go to you see where it says conversation. This conversation right here. So what I do there, and now these message boards are not the best place to get your information sometimes because there's a lot of garbage on here. But what I do is I go there, and then I go to the newest reactions. Okay, and I just start looking. I just start looking to see what in the world's going on. And a lot of times, what you'll see here is somebody will have found the news, and they'll have it out here, and you'll kind of get an idea. But what happened yesterday was really strange, because I kept coming here and I couldn't see any news, and people were going crazy. So let's go back here. I'll show you what else I did. I start looking. Like I said before, I pull up. I have Moderna on here for a reason. It had dropped too. Now it was heavy green yesterday. It didn't go into red, but it dropped pretty good too. Let me show you. So you see this drop, same exact time. So this is, again, let's see here if this is it. Let's see, Monday. Well, you can't really see it good on this chart, but yesterday they had the same exact drop. There it is right there. You can barely see it here. But it was around 2:30. They were at 368, and I think they dropped down to, a little bit further than that. But you can see it better on the one-day chart yesterday. And so there was three different vaccine stocks I looked at. Moderna, one of them, Novavax, and there was, I think it's BTNX or something like that. I looked at it, and they had dropped too. So all of them dropped at the same exact time, which was very, very strange. And I'm still not sure what happened there. So that was kind of crazy. So what I knew right away from that is it was not any kind of particular news about Novavax. So it was a vaccine sell-off for whatever reason. Somebody speculated it was some big hedge fund or something that sold out of their vaccines, and that's why it dropped like that. And Novavax would have dropped the furthest because it's got the smallest number of shares at a float. So it doesn't take as much to do damage to Novavax as it would some of those that's got a larger share count, which is it works in the good way because when somebody wants all those shares and you don't have a whole lot of them outstanding, that's why it can go shoot up like a rocket. Okay, and you've seen Novavax do that. So anyway, bottom line was is I knew it wasn't Novavax. It was the stock that was broke. It was not the company. It was not the market. It was actually just the stock was broke because somebody did something. All right, and it could just been some kind of game they play. Trust me, they do it, and it's a real thing, and so they definitely got some people out of it yesterday. Took out some stop losses on that. Dropped from 229 all the way down to 188. A lot of people had probably stop losses in. They got all those shares, and here we go today, and it turns around and it goes right back up. So that's the games they play, and trust me, they do it. And you don't let them steal your shares. That's the whole thing. You gotta, and it's tough. I mean, that was a tough day yesterday. So here we are at our stocks again. Moderna again. I didn't get to see that too much, but let's see here. Yeah. So that was a wild day, a very wild day with Novavax. Novavax is not a boring stock. It will do some crazy things. Tilray and Nikola, we won't even talk about since we've run kind of long already. Uh, but it was a exciting day for sure, and it's going to be an exciting week, exciting end of the year. I'm still holding a lot of shares mainly because I really believe there's going to be some news coming out here pretty soon about either the UK or India or somebody like that, or EU or something like that. One of those approvals, and we're going to see a good jump here. I like the fact that we're getting back up to this over this 200 point to launch from. Once we get that news, it's going to be a blast off, and I would like us to be, if we can be in the 230s when that happens, I have no doubts we're going to be getting close to those all-time highs, which is around 331 or so. And that's when I'll definitely start selling when I start seeing some of that. But I've got I've got shares in my IRAs. I've got shares in the cash count. I've got three options that are already doing very well. They're 185 calls, so they're doing good. And I'll definitely be saving those for last probably because they're already out to March or April. So, but anyway, I hope you've had a good week in trading. Today was a rough day for the market, but we did pretty good because of the number of shares that we're holding in Novavax, and it was doing real good today. So. Anyway, we're down for the week because of yesterday, though. So we had made up a lot of ground today, but we still got a ways to go to make up for the ground where we started. All right, and we got 3 more days to do it. So I think we can do it, especially if Novavax can stay on the tear here. All right. Well, I hope you have a great rest of your week. Hey, don't forget to subscribe if you have not subscribed by clicking this button right here. I really appreciate it, and we've got a couple of new subscribers. Appreciate you guys for joining. And have a great rest of your day. Thanks. Bye.